All right, guys. So this was my latest race at Lime Rock Park in the Mazda series. So um, I'm not in the rookies anymore, but so I finally graduated from the rookies. I think I'm a high C class now, and I've been that for a while. But yeah, I'm a high C class, so I'm moving up. And the races have gotten a lot better. I'm not seeing nearly the carnage that you normally see in the on these races once you get out of that bottom tier. So it's been a lot more fun. So anyway, let's go for a ride. This is a 20-lap race. So I'm just going to kind of go through kind of what I'm thinking during this. So but I'll probably change the views here occasionally. So first lap, I just don't want to wreck. It's like these guys get 3 wide right here, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to back off, let these guys get by. I can get them back. I know I'm faster than them, so I would rather back off instead of trying to make 3 wide around that turn, because if you did, somebody's going to wreck. So, you know, my first lap when I'm racing is really, I'm trying to be as careful as I can, just not get taken out early. So, but that's my thought when I'm starting. See, just like right there, I had those 2 cars. They're racing on the first lap into a chicane with me in front, and I was looking in the rearview mirror. There was nowhere I could go, but I'm in here thinking that, you know, there's one of these guys is about to take me out. So, so then he gets sideways, dodge him. You know, this is what I'm talking about on the first lap. On the very first lap of any race that I'm in, on, especially if you're racing against these guys are inexperienced, just like I'm no, you know, I've been doing it a while, but I wouldn't call myself super experienced. So what I try to do on the first lap of these races is I don't know anybody, so I'm not willing to take a chance. These races, it's more important for me to improve my safety rating and my I rating all together than it is winning. I want to win, but if I can run a good race, I'm happy. You know, if I get in the top 5 in these races and I have a good race, like I feel like I did here, then I'm good. I think speed will come. You know, you'll get faster over time, and so I'm not really worried about the speed. You know, I feel like I'm almost there with these cars. These cars are pretty easy to drive. You have to be careful with them, but for the most part, they're not a hard car to drive. Like right there, I got a little wide, not so wide that it called me off track, but if you get these cars off the track, you cannot turn the steering wheel on, at least here on this game with iRacing. If you turn the steering wheel and you're off the track, 2 wheels are off the track like that, I'm afraid I'd go sliding into the wall. So anyway, okay, so we're through the first lap now, and let's change it to, we'll do the driver. Let me find it. Cockpit cam. So now everybody's kind of spread out. It's a couple of laps in now. Everybody's spread out. So now I'm trying to focus on just keeping my pace with the cars in front of me. I don't want them to get away. And I really, unless the car behind me is right on top of me, I don't really worry about where he's at. I only worry about that if he's really close, and it's not that I'm worried about him passing. I'm concerned about him hitting me. I don't want him to be hit and taken out of the race. So I'm really focused on my break points, my turns, my apexes, making sure that I do everything right. And I know I make a lot of mistakes. There's a lot of mistakes at a lot of places in here where I know I can improve. My racing line is not great on this track, but it's pretty fast because these cars right now, in these races that I'm running, it's the baseline setup that iRacing gives you. It's not the best setup in the world. I've run setups that are way better than this, and you can get a lot more speed out of these little cars. So we're 7 minutes, almost 7 minutes into the race. And, you know, I'm still focused on just trying to not let these two cars in front get away. And I'm hoping that they'll get close enough together that they're going to slow each other down a little bit so that I don't have to kill my car to catch up. I'm still putting in, 101s. Actually, that last lap was a 101.064, which is probably my fastest lap on this track since I've been back to iRacing. So I'm pretty happy with that. So anyway, like I said, right now I'm really focused on that green car in front of me, just trying to keep up. I don't want him to get away from me. I want to make sure I hit all my marks, and that's really what's on my mind right there. So I'm also watching the yellow car and the white car because they're starting to get close, and I feel like once they get close, they're really close in speed. So once they get close to each other, I'm really expecting that these guys are going to get racy with each other. And when they get racy with each other, it's going to bring us closer to them. And so once I get close to these guys, that's when I really try to concentrate on everything around me at that point, because once we catch up with him, the cars behind me are going to have an opportunity to catch, because we're all racing for position here. And you'll see coming up, these two cars in front, the yellow and the I can't really tell the color of it, blue car, I guess, they get really racy up through here. And I don't really like what the yellow car does as far as how he's blocking and stuff, because he really gets kind of I don't know, I'm not a big fan of how he does it. It is what it is. You just have to be prepared for it. But when he gets out here on the straightaway, he'll run in real deep into the to the inside, which that's fine. And then once he gets close to the end, he'll shoot back over, especially once he's trying to block, and you'll see what he does up through here. But like I said, right now, I'm really focused on the back end of that car, just making sure I hit my marks, that I'm not making mistakes that will jeopardize my ability to catch up with this group and have a chance at passing. But that's what's, like I said, that's what's going through my mind the entire time that these guys are up here, because we're really close in speed. In fact, the green car is probably a little faster than me, but he's struggling just like I am, or just like the blue car with trying to pass the yellow car. So now they're the yellow car and the white car, white, blue, whatever. From here it looks white, but now they're really starting to get racy, and you can see that me and the green car are starting to really start to reel them in, especially on the curvy section. So now here he goes, he's blocking, he drops all the way down to the inside of the track. At this point, I really am concerned that those two are going to get into each other. So I'm really not trying to get super close, but I want to be close enough to where if there's a mistake that I can get in there and I can race for position. The purple car is there. Again, I'm not really worried about him right now, because I see the action that's going on up there. Now, if I were in a race with what I thought were really experienced drivers, then I would be more willing to get up there. But I am, at this point, I'm comfortable staying right where I'm at. I want to see what goes on between the yellow car and the white car, blue car, whatever. And I mean, if I have an opportunity to pass, I will. But I don't want to get in a situation where I get wrecked, especially being in 5th position right now, 6th position. I'm in a decent spot. If any of these cars makes a mistake, it's a position for me. I'm not slower than any of them. I'm running, very reasonably close to them. So I feel comfortable that if I really push, I can catch any of them. So what I do is I back off a little bit. As you can see, the blue car or the purple car here is kind of all over the track. He gets out really wide. At that point, I thought he was going to go off the track, because I see lots of cars go off the track when they go out really wide, especially here at Lime Rock Park. They'll get out really wide, and I don't know if the track flattens out there or what, but I've done it. I've seen other cars do it, where they get in that first turn, they go out really wide, and the next thing you know, they're spinning around out in the grass. So I try to stay as far away from the edge of the track as I can right there. I may be wrong about doing that, but I just don't feel comfortable on that part of that track because I've found myself in the grass way too many times. So here we are again, back on the front straightaway. These two cars are still really going at it. And so what I'm doing is I'm staying up high and see how he shoots back across. There's no way he can see where the green car is. And as you can see, the green car had to check up because he's really blocking the entire track when he shouldn't be. I think that he probably should have given up the position. I'll probably go back and watch his replay and see what was going on right there. But, you know, he's trying to hold off this traffic, and he's not the faster car right now. He's really struggling to stay in front all of the time. So, but as you can see, we're all starting to pull in close, and so I'm getting kind of nervous at this point because these guys are really getting racy up here. Now the yellow car's pulled away a little bit because the purple car's starting to race the white car some. So we're having a, you know, it's a little bit tight here. And then I got a really good run off of that last turn, so I was able to really make some speed up through here. If I'd really been pushing it, I think I could have gotten that, but I would have probably caused a wreck too. But so I kind of stopped. You know, I'm not in here trying to wreck people. I really do want to run a clean race and improve. I want to improve my I rating, my safety rating, because I really am wanting to get away from the rookies and the lower splits. So you know, I want to be able to run with the better drivers. And I'm not saying these guys aren't decent, because honestly, this track, I mean, this race was actually one of the cleaner ones I've seen. You know, they were racing close, like right there, you know, they were side by side, and they all really did a pretty good job of not running into each other. So I was really surprised that didn't happen more often. So they kind of let the yellow car get away at this point, but we're trying to catch him. So I kind of sent it a little bit right there, but I felt like I had the opportunity. So didn't make it stick, but I wasn't going to wreck him to stay there. So I backed out a little bit. And so at this, now here, really what I got to thinking about, and I might have actually said something, I don't know, on the actual video, but I was really thinking, instead of trying to pass this guy or racing with him, I was really, really wanting to see if we couldn't catch the yellow car. So I thought, you know, I would stay behind him. The white car's fast, and I know we can catch him. So I was really kind of hoping we could maybe work together on the straightaways and catch up with him. So I wasn't really trying to outrun him at this point. I just wanted to stay close, you know, stay in his slipstream, and we could make some time up and catch up with him. And you'll see later on that we did actually finally catch up with him. The two cars behind us backed off a little bit. I think they came back some. You'll see at the end. So I don't even know how many laps we're in right now. But let's look at a different angle. I just sort of want to see where everyone was at this point, because I honestly couldn't tell you. So there's still a blue car back there, and so we're racing, but I'm not really worried about him at this point. Just kind of staying in my spot. And so let's get back to the cockpit cam. So now we're just really racing or running, trying to catch up. I did make a few mistakes out through here that slowed me down a little bit. I don't know why I was having such a hard time getting to the inside of that turn, but I had a lot of laps where that last turn right there, I was not touching the inside. I really like to be able to just touch that concrete curb there on the inside coming out of that last turn, and I really struggled with that in this race. So I'm not giving advice as far as how anybody else should run this race, because look, I am not a superstar at this. I'm not a pro. I'm really just sharing how, you know, what was going through my mind in this race. So as you can see, the white car is really starting to catch up with yellow, and I'm staying right with him. I'm just trying to stay close, and if I get a chance, because there were still quite a few laps left. I don't remember how many, but we still had several laps, so I wasn't really worried about it. I was in 5th at this point, and if I could get 3rd, I was happy to do that, but you know, I was also happy being in 5th at this point. So I did make some mistakes through here. I think I could have been faster through there. If I'd gone out a little bit wider and made that apex a little bit deeper, I think I would have had a better turn off of there, and I think it would have been up on them by right there. But I didn't, and I did that a lot. Like I said, this was not my best. This was not my best race tonight. It was fun, but this wasn't my best performance on this track. As much as I like this track, I know I've done better. So the white car has caught up with the yellow car, and he's going to start putting pressure on him through the next several laps, and you'll see what happens. So, but they really I completely screwed that turn up right there, and I think that the car behind me really caught up with me right there, because I really screwed up right there. Actually almost went off the track. I just completely screwed up the apex of that turn and slid out. I guess he didn't. I thought he caught up with me right there, but maybe he didn't. But I know he's close. He's got to be close. So let's see where he's at right now. Yeah, so he's right on me, but it's still, even again, I really wasn't focusing on him. I probably would have been okay if he had actually passed me, which I think he does up here at some point. But let's get back to the cockpit cam. So here we go. And these guys get really racy coming up. He got sideways, and he really bunched everybody up right there when he did that. And I really should have had a chance to pass both of these guys right then, and I missed the shift right there. And I should have done better right here. I think I really should have been in 1st place right there, or 3rd place right there, not 1st. Felt like 1st, but as you can see, also the green car also came in, and so anyway, we're here, we're racing, and I have a feeling that the yellow car coming up spins the white and blue car, which I could almost see a report coming on that, but not from me, but from someone. But you'll see coming up, he maybe he didn't, but it kind of looked like he got punted right there, because he slid right through the turn. So we'll take a look at that here in a little bit. So we all pass him, and he really never is involved in this again. So it really came down to the 3 of us for, I guess it was 3rd, 4th, and 5th. I thought it was 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. I might be, I don't know. I can't remember, but I think I finished in 4th, but I'll have to check that. I wasn't looking at the results so closely at the time. But these guys really get racy, and we're also going to run into this traffic up here coming up, which tightens everything up, which was kind of cool because it really forced everybody to race really good here at the end of this race. See, he got a little bit sideways. See, and he's really blocking a lot here, and here we go around this turn, and then we got the white car that's completely in everybody's way, and really he needed to move, but he didn't, and so, but it slowed us all down when none of us got a great run out of that turn. As you can see, his front end was all jacked up. So I think there were about 2 laps to go at this point. I can't remember, but because we all stay really close at this point. And so And the finish of this was really fun. So I'll just say that about it. I honestly think, yes, I was in 4th position at this point. So we were actually fighting for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th position. And I was really pushing this guy at this point because I was hoping to get around him, because I do think that I had something for the yellow car. And I just did not quite get the run that I wanted to at the end. Otherwise, I think that I probably would have gotten them both at the very end of the race. What I did there is I dropped on the inside. I was kind of hoping, I wanted to see at the yellow car what he was going to do. I was kind of curious if he'd drop down, if I could, I don't know. I was just playing a game a little bit, sort of wondering if he would drop down and see if he thought I was closer than I was in his mirror. So I don't know why. I just thought it would be interesting to do. I didn't lose anything by doing it, so. So I had one guy on a comment on my YouTube channel make a comment that these cars, I can't remember exactly what the comment was, but it was sort of the effect that, so yeah, right here, this is the final lap, and I really thought I had a shot. So as you can see, I was really close, but that was the end of the race, and I was really disappointed that I didn't do better than that. Let's back that up a little bit, and we'll go to a different view. So I got a super run out of turn 3. This is probably the best turn 3 or final turn. I don't know why I said turn 3. Final turn that I got the entire race, and I really got good to the inside and came out strong. And I really thought I was going to have a shot at this guy, and I just missed. So I was so disappointed, but it was still a fun run. But he really, I was so disappointed. I really wanted that. Let me see if I can find a view to see just how close that really was. Let's look at the chopper. Yeah. Let me see here. Blimp. So you can see I was super close. So he beat me by the front quarter of the car. So, but that is how it works. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. And I came in 4th, which, hey, that's not bad. But anyway, so I apparently, I had a comment on my YouTube. Someone made the comment about the Mazdas not being that great. But the fact of it is, as far as I'm concerned, these Mazdas on this game, they're some of the best racing on iRacing that I've done. And I mean, I have a limited amount of experience on iRacing, but I've raced with some of the NASCAR cars. I've done some of the Formula cars. I've raced some of all of, or not all, but a lot of the classes. And these cars are slower than those cars, but the racing in this series is so much fun because everybody's so close, and you can do things with these cars. They move around on the track. You don't have, and that's what I like about them. But they're a lot of fun, and so the racing is actually really good if you get in with the right group on the Mazda MX-5 Cup cars. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that. Like I said, I'm not a pro. I don't claim to be. I don't really think my advice is that big of a deal. What I share on my YouTube channel is my experience. I wouldn't claim to be able to coach anybody on how to be a better race car driver because, I don't know, I think I'm probably a mid-tier, so-so driver. I'm not, my goal on iRacing and Assetto Corsa Competizione is to improve, is to be better than I was yesterday. And I think as long as I continue to improve, then that's really the most important thing. And I love to watch other YouTubers that are better than me. I feel like I can learn something from them. Some of my favorites to watch is Jardiere. Um, I like Redkin Racing and Eries. I like those guys. There's a lot of them out there. Those are just three that I do watch a lot. Um, One of the places that you can get a lot of good information from is overtake.gg. Those guys are really good. Jardiere is part of their group as far as content, and I really enjoy watching them. I feel like I've learned a lot about racing and being better at sim racing by watching these guys than I would if I had just said, "Oh, I'm going to learn it by myself." And I'm hoping that someday I'll be able to get some real coaching from someone that's better than I am. So if you know one, send them my way. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe wherever it's at here. Don't forget to like and subscribe my page. If you haven't ever watched my channel before today and you don't have a racing wheel setup, I am giving away a G923 Logitech racing wheel when I reach 1,500 subscribers. My goal is to be able to live stream, and I don't think I can live stream until I have at least 1,000 followers. So my goal is to be able to live stream at some point, and I have to have, I think, at least 1,000 subscribers to do that. So once I get to 1,500 subscribers, I'm going to give away my Logitech G923 racing wheel to one of my subscribers that subscribed before I reached 1,500, or when I reached 1,500, because I really appreciate you guys that subscribe to help gain followers for my page. I hope to at some point be able to give some real content that about my experience with racing that will help somebody else. I think there's so much content out there about how to be a better driver and all that. My goal isn't so much to teach anyone how to be better at racing, but I want to share my experience in the sim racing community and what I found that worked for me and what didn't work for me as far as becoming better at sim racing. And a lot of that is just watching my races. I watch every single race that I run. I replay it from different angles. If there's an accident, if there's a collision between another car, I watch that because I just want to see, is there something that I could have done differently that would have prevented me being involved in, say, a wreck that happened in front of me, or if I caused a wreck, because believe me, I have caused my share. You know, I'm not a fan of necessarily sending it. I don't mind it. It's part of racing, but I don't do it a lot. I did when I first started. I thought that was the only way that you could pass, but I think it's really important to be able to pass, to pick your places to pass safely first, and then I really try to save a dive bomb for a time when it's necessary. If it, and there are a few places where I consider it necessary. If you're behind a car that you know you're faster than, and the cars that are running in front of him are pulling away, I think a lot of times it's necessary to get around that car. Now, I think you should try to pass him in a normal place first. And if he's blocking or whatever he's doing that's holding you up and you've got to get past him, that's a place that a dive bomb or where you send it, I still think you should be cautious about it. I know there's a lot of guys out here in the sim racing community that's how you pass. They just send it, I've been taken out dozens of times because someone just decided to send it. And I might make a montage of it someday of all the send it wrecks that I've had where other cars have driven right over the top of me or caused a wreck in front of us where they shot past. But anyway, not to make this video any longer, but I really want to share, my experience as an e-racer, yeah, that's funny, as a sim racer in the community, and not so much my experience as being good at it or doing things they're sharing with anybody, things, tips or whatever that make you better, because I'm learning those tips myself. You know, the only tip I could ever give anybody that would make any sense right now would be patience. You know, when you're out on the track, be patient. Um, you know, when you first start, being patient is extremely important. You know, I've actually won races where I had no shot at winning, but just because I was being consistent and steady, um, the cars that were in front were not, and they made mistakes or wrecked or whatever it was that happened, and I was able to capitalize on that. So, you know, and getting your rating up when you first start on any of these games, whether it's iRacing or Assetto Corsa Competizione, you know, they all have their own safety rating, and getting your safety rating up really is more important in the beginning than winning races. And I know that sounds weird, and everybody wants to win the race, but it's really important. If you ever want to progress out of the rookies and the guys that do just drive over the top of you, you know, if you're okay with that, then, you know, dive bomb away. But if you want to progress beyond the rookie level and rookie talent, it's really important to be patient. Get your safety rating up to where you're not racing in the bottom splits of races. Because when I first started, I'm probably going to split this up into two videos. But when I first started, especially with the Assetto Corsa Competizione, I started out in the public lobbies, and it doesn't really matter what your skill level is in the public lobbies. There are people that'll run over you no matter where you start on the track, and so it's important to find cars to run around that will improve your rating without destroying your car. So and that's why I say it's more important in the beginning when you're starting out as in sim racing of any kind that you just be safe. You don't have to be the fastest car to make it out of rookies. You just have to be consistent and safe. Don't wreck, don't run into other cars, and be consistent. And your rating will go up. I mean, there's no way for it to go down if you don't wreck, run into people, run off the track, lose control of your car. There are several things that you can do, and I'll stop the video here because it's going to be long as it is. It's already 32 minutes long. So, guys, I really appreciate y'all watching, and stick around, and I will do another video. In fact, this will probably be my next video. So, I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks for sticking with me for a 30-something minute video. You guys, thanks for your support, and I will see y'all in the next race. Y'all have a great one.